Xiaoming, thanks for joining us. We've been talking today a lot about the deleveraging by Western European banks, but from your perspective in Beijing, you're seeing, if anything, a re-leveraging by Chinese banks.
Well, thank you, Nick. I think if the deleveraging is defined by meaning the banks are selling their assets, selling part of the portfolios to others, you certainly do not see this happening to Chinese banks, and they are following their clients, basically large Chinese corporates. They are expanding rapidly overseas, so you don't see at this point Chinese banks selling their assets. But I think they are willing and interested in working with European and other foreign banks in doing what these banks have been doing in the past.
Sure. Yes. And are those active borrowers in China mourning the loss of some of their Western European relationship banks?
I think so. I think for the time being, I think some of the European banks are going home or are trying to take care of problems back home. And you see Chinese banks going into the space left behind by those banks. And I think the Chinese banks obviously are interested in developing relationship with corporates that are based outside of China. Yeah.
And we're seeing, I gather, also an attempt by Chinese banks to establish rep offices and branch networks in those foreign markets because they have licensing problems.
Yes, they have a licensing problem, and that's why you see ICBC all of a sudden, and I think last year they declared they're going to open, I think 6-7 branches in Europe alone, right, and have licenses. And I think you see this happening elsewhere in Asia and Africa and Latin America too. But I think they're because of the legal framework in America and Europe is more established. You see the Chinese bank trying to establish their footholds here first. Yes.
So on the whole, it sounds like Chinese bank lending on a global scale is very much on the up.
I think so. At least for the time being, yes.
For the time being. Okay.
Yes.
Xiaoming, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick.